Hello again, everyone. I don't know whether the stream has started. It might have. I've got some different music on in the background, primarily because I keep getting copyright striked immediately for using the Deltarune and Undertale soundtracks. So I'm going to be putting some Sega stuff on in the background. I hope you enjoy, and I hope it's not too bad. I hope you'll also forgive me for the choice in music. So I'm just going to. John, I'm just gonna get the link here now so I can at least send out the stream to everyone. Let's see. Behind the scenes. I love the way I renamed this. And it's still got the wrong name on YouTube. Seemingly YouTube hasn't updated it yet. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be going through and doing a little bit of the upgrades on the ruins without actually showing the upgrades on the ruins. That's going to be one thing that I want to stress out at the moment is. Then I want to confirm a few things, but obviously, you know, explain things properly. How's the audio, by the way, guys? Just so I know. Let's match this up here. John says it's good. Okay, that's good. Good. Oh, jeez. Almost ruined the fun then before it even started. I got the reference art? Yes, I do. For some strange reason, my reference art is not appearing here, and it should do. Ah, there it is. There it is. I had it hidden the entire time. Okay. So yeah, what I meant before was the next update is going to be pretty big again, and what I'm going to be doing here is trying to develop stuff because people expect streams of me. You know, I've wanted to stream for a while, but I've been a little bit busy. What I want to do is try and do this next update without actually showing anything until the update drops. And it's going to sound crazy of me, but it's mainly just because I've noticed something over the course of development, and it's nothing bad. It's just, what it is while I've been developing stuff, I've been noticing that everybody will have, you know, that huge wow moment where everyone's like, oh wow, this looks awesome or whatever. And to really maximize that at like the next event that I do or whatever, I want to develop this so you can see what's going on while also not giving away much, you know, because admittedly, I do like seeing people being as amused or wowed as possible. So what we're doing here now is we're just going over little bits of the ruins, and I'm trying to make it like my previous version. What we're doing is we're essentially lining up the light sources. Hey, Sangelo. Those damn biscuits, says John. Nah, you're good, John. You're good. Saying that, I still have my other biscuits from the other day. So yeah, of course, it's all about that wow factor and all about trying to make sure that everybody is happy with progress and stuff. So I'm currently in the process of doing the next update. Before anyone says it, I don't know when that will drop. I think I'll give myself a lot more time this time than I did previously. But the whole idea is just to work as hard on this one as the previous one. Because of me wanting to get the entire project done, hopefully, for like the next anniversary, I'm going to be grafting real hard to get everything done. So it's going to be cool. And the biscuits planning their assassination. No. Just spent a lot of money on something, so now I'm broke. John, do Like, is it too private to mention or what? Because I'm curious now. Because I was actually going to ask you the other day whether you wanted to get like Bone Lab or something to play multiplayer on it, but I guess we can wait. She'll DM you. Okay, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I got... Oh, that's weird how that is... Like, I've moved it. Ah, I see. Right, so the smaller mushrooms have different shape groups attached to them. Why is that? These are from another map that I've been sourcing, so... Oh, crap. That's why everything is crazy. Okay, so now I need to do that again. Just dropped in, say... Good luck. Thank you very much. Hey, Sammy. John says, I've sent the photo. Dude, just let me check that I'm not, like, streaming this. Let's see what you got. Oh my god, dude. Dude. Well done. Oh. Oh, yes. Yes. Best purchase ever. Best purchase ever. Definitely worth it. Right, let's put this here. We'll try and... Actually, I might separate these sections. Hang on, we'll do like small mushroom. Because the idea is then I can vary these mushrooms here. So we'll do like ruins, double. Ruins, small mushroom. Oh, dude, that's awesome. So, yeah, the idea for this, for those who don't know, is basically to light up the ruins. A lot of people use different things. They'll use like candles or whatever, but I'm trying to keep this as close to what we see in game as possible. Obviously, the ruins is lit up in its own sprite work by magical means, as it were, by video game logic, so that Toby and Temmie can make everything so it's viewable, and they don't need dramatic lighting in the ruins. But what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sense of it. So throughout Waterfall, we see these different shrooms that illuminate everything. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing that, but in the ruins. And they're only in certain places. The idea is that these mushrooms only grow near water or foliage, so it kind of restricts the lighting a little bit. But it is really cool to see, so I'm just trying to spread these out a little bit, and away we go. Yeah, there was some debate about this the other day, primarily because of some people being like, so anyway, what's the deal with the mushrooms? So I had to explain it a little bit. Basically, when we place these down now near foliage, that should make everything look kind of cool. How will you like Snowdin? Snowdin is lit kind of interestingly. The way that I've done it is, it just looks like Christmas. It's still in the big cave and everything. Like, where's my example for Snowdin? Because I've already done Snowdin previously. Let's do, see if I can find the level with it in, because I've done all of it in one go. There we go. All of it in one go. Just Christmas lights everywhere. No, you'll see what I mean. It's pretty close to the in-game version, but again, it makes no sense. I think the best way you can describe it is any light that is in the area is basically bouncing off all the ice and everything and reflecting. And then we've got the fog. So the fog here, it's pretty thick. I keep mixing it up for different scenes. But the idea is that the fog kind of gives you that snowy look to it, almost like a blizzard. And the fog looks different when I'm rendering it, trust me. I'm going to upgrade the ice as well, because the ice does need upgrading. Some of this might be messed up. Yeah, that's messed up as well. Bone Lab says co-op. Bone Lab has a mod that makes it multiplayer, John. But yeah, the idea is that for most of Snowdin, we have this kind of like almost desaturated look to it, including getting outside of the ruins, which is all the way down here, right? But then when we get into Snowdin town, that's where it lights up. The idea is it's almost like you're on a journey and you're just using these tiny lights that I've added just to add a little bit of feeling to it. The best way to describe it is I wanted it to look as though you're walking home on like a winter's day with just like minimal lighting. So give you that kind of like nice warm effect throughout. But then we've got all the way down here in Snowdin town is where it gets lit up a little bit more. So down here, oh. By the way, this isn't the final view of this. This is just me concepting it a while ago, so it's pretty much probably going to be changed. Hey memes, nice to see you again. So yeah, you can see what I was going for properly here. It's kind of that traditional Christmas look with the sort of like glowing windows that show that people are in and the lights are out, everything. I just wanted to go for that for Snowdin because I feel like it gives off that energy. So it's the traditional Christmassy sort of look, and I might actually do Grillby's sign there in neon as well. Do you ever wonder how monsters lit up the place when they first came? Maybe it's like they bred the shrooms or something to Sammy. Potentially, yeah. But yeah, I definitely wanted Snowdin to invoke that like Christmassy feeling. So at the moment, this is what it looks like. I may do the whole thing of brightening it up by adding more Christmas lights hanging off things, because honestly, I feel like it could use that, you know, like have these Christmas lights but hanging off like the trees or whatever. That would be pretty cool. Just for the sake of it. Oh, if I can get it right. Sans and Papyrus's house looks pretty cool here. You know, it does look kind of spooky. It looks a little bit spooky, but the thing is, when you have all of the snow effects and everything, it looks really nice. It looks just about right to give you that kind of like snowy atmosphere. I know a couple of people have said before, like, dude, your entire work looks desaturated and, you know, it looks dark and moody. And half of me is like, no, I understand that. Maybe I'll brighten it up. And the other half is like, well, it's the underground. You know, it's not all going to be bright. And the other idea that I was thinking of was, as you start out in the ruins, it's going to be dark, you know. So the idea is that as you slowly get closer to the surface, like the Judgment Hall and places like that, that's when it's going to get brighter, especially Hotland. You know, so I'm not calling anyone out, by the way, when I mention that. I have a habit of just saying what I think, and it comes across nasty, but I don't mean it that way. But yeah, anyway. What we're doing here is we're placing the mushrooms down because then they'll be the marker that we'll use for lighting later on. And then I'll be putting down some of the other stuff later as well. This is the crap version of the ruins, or rather, the one that you're looking at is the new version. The one that I'm looking at now that I thought you were looking at is the crap version that I tried updating the other day and it didn't work. So instead, I'm now updating this one, which looks massively better. How's the light coming into the Judgment Hall? Well, as an example, I have a light set up at the beginning of the ruins. And you think, wait a minute, the first room, which is like the first proper room to the ruins, is this one here, because the rest is fallen down, or is classed as fallen down by quite a lot of people. It's basically just the introduction into falling into the bit where you talk to Flowey and then Toriel saves you. Really, this, like the bit that's in purple, is more or less the ruins. And this room that I have here, I made this recently to kind of get an idea of what I wanted for the ruins. Honestly, it kind of pains me to not show it you yet, but I feel like that big reveal in this next update, whenever that goes live, will, you know, make up for it. But in here, like this circle in the floor here, I decided to look at some artwork online, and there was one piece of artwork that showed off a skylight with like a stained glass roof in it, and I really liked the idea of that, and I was like, okay, how do I do that? You know, how do I get this to work? And what I thought of was there are tiny holes in the mountain, or like vents or whatever. And the idea is that the light comes in through them. And even though it's so small, as the sort of like the hole opens towards the bottom, that's where the light can hit the glass and then shine in, and it looks really bright. It's the same thing that I've got going on, so it's not like the mountain is completely solid. It's almost like there are little holes here and there that just happen to let lights into areas where it makes it look cool or dramatic. That's the only way I can make sense of it. It's not going to be everywhere, of course. What's more interesting as well is the ruins are down as being catacombs, so I'm going off that as a reference. Catacombs generally, especially the French ones, are just a lot of underground passageways full of like dead, which is crazy. So I'm trying to invoke that similar feeling of those catacombs by having it be sort of like dark and cramped and only lit up a little bit, but not too much. The idea is I still want to meet the sprite work in terms of like how close mine is to it as much as possible, while also having that slightly more realistic feel to it in terms of the lighting, which is where the mushrooms come in, because later on we see in certain areas that Toriel's actually been collecting the mushrooms to use as like little night lights. That's one little detail that I actually liked, because in one of the VHS scenes that I did for the trailer, you see like in the VHS scene, you can just about see the night light at the side of Asgore, so it reflects off his face and everything, and you can see that, yeah, okay, this makes sense. You know, it's kind of like having a candle, but it's an organic candle. So it's an interesting little note that I threw in there, but it's so cool. I like coming up with little details like that because they're just really nice. But trust me when I say it took a little while for me to figure that out, because I was like, I have no clue about this. My fire effects aren't amazing. I need to work on them still, especially for like the Toriel and Asgore fight. And Undyne's house. But it's like, I'm sat there thinking, you know what, I can work on the fire effects later. I just need something that works and is easy at the moment. And yeah, the mushrooms are definitely a good way of doing that. On a side note, one of the funnier things recently has been waiting on the mocap stuff I was on about in the Hotland update. While I've been waiting for that stuff, I've been talking to a bunch of other people that have bought the same product online, the Haratora X mocap stuff. And basically it comes down to everybody in England is still waiting to get the email saying, oh yeah, we're shipping to England. So a little bit nervous at the moment to hopefully get these and it not be like a problem with shipping or whatever, but we shall have to see. We shall have to see. I'm really hyped about that though, because not only does it mean I can do like mocap and stuff, but it also means for a laugh I can go in like VR chat with full body tracking. I've always loved blue and purple and aqua blue with my artist brain, says Sammy. Can I sleep soon in your drawer? What? Oh, in your sock drawer, says John. I don't think it's big enough. I couldn't read that properly because of the chat window being blocked by the emote thing. But yeah, the idea I want to do for the next update is literally drop this massive update where it just shows off like the ruins, potentially Waterfall, and then Toriel and Alphys. Toriel and Alphys, I think, are going to be the next focus. Again, I do not know when this update is going to drop. It could be, you know, like months away. I hope not, because I want to absolutely smash this update as much as possible and make sure that, you know, it's all of this stuff is done. So it's going to be interesting seeing how quickly this goes, but it's going to be fun at the same time. Let's try and get the vines in here. But yeah, I've shown off to one person already the newest update, and by that I mean a preview of it. What I did was I went around and I was looking for you know, like the artwork that I mentioned before, and I made the newest version of the ruins based off this artwork. And then because I got a lot of good news recently about like different lines being done and stuff progress wise that I still need to actually update. When I got that good news, I was like, okay, I'll show the ruins off to one person and just see what they think. And I showed off the ruins and I got the coolest reaction ever, which was, holy crap. Well, obviously it was swearing, not holy crap, but was like, holy, that's awesome. And I'm sat there thinking, okay, that's exactly what I needed in terms of like, have I done this right? Have I not done it right? I'll say no more. So I'm keeping the rest of it under wraps so I can get the same reaction again, but from everybody. Kind of like when I did Heartland. When I did Heartland, everybody in the audience was like, whoa, you know. So if I can do the same with the ruins and then Waterfall and make it all look the same in terms of like the same style, then we'll be good. So yeah, I'm really happy with the ruins remake at the moment. It's so good. Opening this file here to get an image of it, or rather to get so I can get reference for the materials, and hoping it doesn't pop up on screen now quickly so I can get a reference here. But yeah, I'm also breaking down the areas of the ruins instead of having them as one thing. I'm breaking them down into different sections like people suggested, that way I can fit more detail into them. So the shots are going to be more condensed. I'm going to have to do a little bit of visual trickery, so there might be tiny inconsistencies here and there, but yeah, it's going to be so cool. We get some sneak peeks. Yeah, you get like the textures I'm using or whatever on the internet and me talking about stuff. The one cool thing that I went through the other day and did was, and that I can talk about, because I kind of threw an image up of it anyway, was the 3D UI that I've done, or the 3D menu. Classic says, hi Moody, 3D, it's a 3D headache for me today. Why my avatar went crosshairs, the mechanics went nuts with the software. I hope I can fix it soon. Plus working on my site for fixes. Hope your project's good. Oh yeah, project's really good at the moment, Classic. Like, it's nice to see you again. Yeah, this project is going so well right now. Let's take the show. No. That was, somebody's gonna go back in the VOD and see that and be like, oh, interesting. I need to now change the alpha there to an image texture. Where is it? Vines? Why was Alphys there? Wait, what? If you're on about on screen, Alphys is not here. I literally almost ruined that because I'm sat here thinking, oh, shading's fine, and then I forgot shading has a preview window. It's like, ooh. Somebody's gonna go back and look at that and be like, whoa, what? It's like, yeah, please don't go look at that. It'll spoil everything. Okay, so roughness is 0.9 for the foliage. 0.9. Funny thing is, it's like a really early version of the runes at the moment, so it's not too bad, but I definitely want to save the style choice and everything else till later. It's Whimsum. Yeah, so characters that are in the actual scene include the Tiny Spiders, Toriel, Frogget, Whimsum, and Frisk. There are no other characters, as you can see here. And it's not like I've hidden any of the other characters. It's not like I've turned around and gone, ooh, there's a secret character, or oh, look, I've done Kara over here, or whatever. I've literally, like, the ones that are available to open, the files that are available to open that has stuff inside, they only have those specific files. So I've not hidden anything from you guys. There isn't any, like, hidden meaning behind any of this. I'm just trying to hide the overall visuals until later on. There is some cool things, though, that I've done that I think I'll have to mention again to people in advance. But yeah, basically that being that apart from dotting little things around in wingdings, which I'm assuming some people will be looking out for and be like, huh, interesting, when they try and decipher everything later on. There is also in the ruins and in certain other areas that I'm going to do, I think, primarily just as like a continuity thing to get things looking how they are in the sprite work. There are signs that are wrote in what I wanted to be an ancient looking font, but I also wanted it to be familiar with the project because of the style that I'm using for some of the other assets. So I ended up writing parts for, you know, like different signs and everything in ancient Hylian font from The Legend of Zelda. So if anybody has Hylian font, then you'll be able to decipher what a lot of the signs say, which are accurate to what they say in game as well. So don't just turn around and be like, oh, okay, if it says exactly what's there in game, then, you know, I don't need to translate it. There are some extra little bits here and there. And then, of course, there's the wingding stuff, which is a little bit crazy by the point we get to, I think, the True Lab and Hotland. Hey, Dave, I've always wondered this. Why does your hoodie say Dreamcast? What is a Dreamcast? Okay, so, ta-da! So, I'll pull the hoodie up. So my hoodie, I've actually got this one as well, like properly. Like I own this. But yeah, a Dreamcast is the last console made by the same company that make the Sonic games, Sega. It was the last console they put out around 1999 to 2000. And eventually it stopped receiving games, I think, in about 2002 or 2004. It's where Sonic Adventure 1 was launched, Soul Calibur, Sonic Adventure 2, Phantasy Star Online. There's some really good games on it. It's also where the Xbox got a lot of its ideas for the original Xbox. Generally, it's just a really good console, even though it's old. It's got a lot of neat ideas to it. It was one of the first consoles to have proper online support for it, like online gameplay. Other consoles previously had been kind of dabbling with internet sort of connectivity, but Dreamcast is one of the first ones to actually use it for multiplayer gaming. PC had been doing it for a while, obviously, but Dreamcast really brought it to people's homes. So, obviously, I'm a big Sega fan, for those who don't know, so I wear the Dreamcast hoodie with a lot of happiness and pride, because I absolutely love it. So what we're doing here is just getting all of this stuff ready. Also, some of the music that you can hear in the background is Sega as well. Like, it's from Phantasy Star Online, one of the main multiplayer games for the Dreamcast. It was a RPG, like an RPG dungeon crawler hack and slash. It's really fun. And it's very influential on games like Destiny and stuff. So if you're familiar with Destiny, the creators were influenced by Phantasy Star. So it's really cool just to kind of have that be referenced. Yeah, I've played, if you want to see what Phantasy Star's like, I've played the second one and I played the first one on the channel ages ago. You'd have to go and search it up. But yeah, it's in here if you want to check that out. I'm really passionate about Sega stuff. Let's see, what we're doing here is we're just getting this material right for this. And then what I can do is I can cut these up into different sections. And then we can use those later on. This is all like, again, Sonic stuff. Everyone by the last update should know by now that, or at least have the understanding that I use a lot of Sonic stuff for some of these assets, so. Is our daily uwu, says Sammy. Yeah, what we're doing here is, because of all this being 2D, we're just cutting it up so we can use it in a very smart way. So what we're doing here is separate that and separate this. And then we're going to take out this bit here and separate some of these bits, just so we can use them as individual pieces with the same texture sheet. I did this previously in the other area. And it's like, dude, why is there so much foliage? But it's like, you see it, there's like little bits of vines and everything growing in the ruins. So I just want to basically make that look as good as it can be. And these textures are really nice. So yeah, I'll just use these. For anyone who wants to know, these are literally, like, because I've been going into loads of Sonic games recently and just, like, looking at textures. These are literally the same plant textures from Sky Sanctuary, I think, from Sonic Generations. Some people might be like, dude, why do you look at Sonic textures for this type of thing? And it's like, I've always worked with Sega stuff in the past. As in, like, I'd look at what I wanted to do. And when I was originally getting into 3D modeling, I did like a load of Sega-based models and things like that. And I found that when doing modeling, researching how Sega did their stuff was really simple. And I was like, okay, it's simple, it's easy to understand. I'll do it kind of similar for the style. So it's just one of my main things is whenever I'm prototyping something, normally I'll go to like a Sega thing first because it normally works just really good for me because I'm used to it. Let's see here, let's take this and we'll do loop cut here. Moss, says Ryder. Yeah, the moss from Deltarune. Yeah, we got all these vines, we got all these little leaves and things that are good. I might actually keep that one there, I'm not too sure. Maybe this one's better than some of these other ones. What we can do here is we can just loop cut this and then try and get rid of that corner. Because we don't really need flowers in the underground here at this point anyway. So we can get rid of that. And for here, we can try and get rid of that corner. What we'll do is if we go from there, I'm gonna have to loop cut this just a little bit. It's really lazy and messy, but it's whatever, it works. If it works, it works. So that now gives me a load of foliage to work with. And we can set origin to all of these so I can have them just be easy to work with. We don't need flowers. You land on a bed of flowers at the start. I know, but like I said, in this specific area, there are no flowers, you know. So we got, those are vines, let's see. Large moss. These songs sound very Sonic-y. They're from Phantasy Star, the game that I referenced before. Long vines. Let's see. Long moss? I'm trying to think of names here for this. Let's try massive moss. I don't even know whether I'm gonna like use all of these, but group of vines. I'm gonna actually have to make a new file there and call it moss. Moss. So we've got what? 3 different types of moss and 2 vines. Thick moss. Sammy says, plan to get my dad into Hell of a Boss today after the stream. Oh, interesting. Bro, I was saying long moss, laughing my ass off, get out of my head. I was just looking at it, I was like, I'm not sure. I just realized then as well, maybe 2 of these I can use, or I can use it in a creative way. But anyway, we got the moss and the vines there. Let's try using that one. I just realized I'm trying not to spoil this here while also trying to do this work. What I'll do is I'll set these up over here. This is like so crazy. What we'll do is it that way? Trying to do this without spoiling the next update is pretty hard. Minus 90 here because they're going to be sat against the wall anyway. Let's do 90. And then I want to try and... That moment where I'm effectively just like, just don't look over this side of the screen. Just, it's okay, it's fine. Just as long as everything behind this like huge bar that I'm going over with my mouse here. As long as everything behind there is out of shot, then we're fine. Trying to be super secret with this. Let's put it this way, right? With this update, I was so happy about getting it so close to the artwork. I was like, you know what? This has to be something special. And it's not even me being nasty and being like, oh no, I don't want to show this off until it's done. It's more just I've noticed constantly on how it's not just me that likes looking at this stuff and going, oh wow, I made something really cool. Oh, excuse me. But I've noticed a lot of other people in the previous updates are just like, oh wow, that's amazing. And I don't want to ruin that because I will genuinely get way more of a reaction, you know, just waiting on stuff and showing it off at the right time rather than being like, oh, here's it in production. You know, it's weird. It's like, I gotta try and do it just right. That one I think will work there if I do that. I just realized that's slightly off at the bottom. It's that whole thing, I don't want to ruin it. It's like, you know, when you see, say like a movie trailer or something to a movie that you really want to watch, and you're just like, oh wow, you know, like, the best way I can think about describing it is, like for me, that wow factor came from watching the original trailer for like Ready Player One. Like I talk about Ready Player One a lot on stream, but I mentioned how it's like, it was a really fun film to see, and just those first couple of trailers were really magical to me. And I'm like, I want to try and create that kind of feeling where you sit down and you eventually watch either the update or the final trailer and just go, holy, you know, that recreating that is going to be so good. Small vines. Actually, no, that's going to be small vines. That could be medium. That one can be small. Small vines. Bro, you sneeze on the mic. It went blah, 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 went all distorted. I'm so sorry. So sorry. It's because the mic's attached to my shirt. Okay, so what we're doing here is essentially just getting all this stuff ready that I need so I can place it later on. It was super funny though, says Sammy. I'm glad you at least got some fun out of it. I don't want to be like making everybody go absolutely deaf with my my sneezing. Oh, dude, I just realized I can use the large moss on like the because of how this is done. This is so good. Like I can use the moss on the floor and then put the mushrooms in the moss, which makes sense. Like no joke, this is so cool right now. Sounds like something that you might take for granted, but when you see potential opportunities to use stuff, it's just like, oh yeah, that's so cool. And the thing is, this only needs like a little bit of editing here and there to make it into something else that it's not currently. No. Mushrooms. Yeah, I'm sorry for anyone using the headset if all of a sudden you got bombarded by my shotgun sneezes. I hate to say it, but I've mentioned it on stream a bunch of times. My sneezes are notorious for basically being like shotgun blasts. I told a story on stream ages ago of how when I used to work in an office, we were all sat there in this one area, and there's like 50 of us in the surroundings. It was like a big office, so there were more than 50 people. But imagine like a bunch of rows of like tables that have like computers on them. And there's like 50 of us in this small area. And I'm in this one part on the end of this desk, and all of a sudden I just get this massive sneeze, and I'm like, oh no. Oh, no, 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 I'm trying to keep it in. And then all of a sudden, I just, achoo, as loud as possible, right? And it hits me so hard that I actually rock backwards and feel like I've got whiplash from it. And no joke, everybody could hear it because it echoed. And everyone was like, dude, what the hell? I was like, I am so sorry. You know, it was nuts. I don't like shotgun sneezes. That's the best way of saying it, you know. Shotgun sneeze being a reference to the fact that it is so loud and instantaneous that everyone else is like, dude, are you all right? Have you got whiplash? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm sorry. You know, like you're in a cave. Yeah, more or less. Let's try medium moss. Then small moss. And then medium moss too. Or let's try, yeah, just for a laugh, let's do thick moss. It's not thick, but it gives it another name. Russian sneeze. Oh, so yeah. So we're back to placing mushrooms over here. The idea being these mushrooms are small, but they're everywhere, so they give off a nice glow. So I'm gonna do that based off what I did originally, which was line these all up either side. Just put them all over the place, so. Are you good? I just saw a wait there. I was like, wait, we good? That has to be the most ominous sounding music ever. And for anyone who doesn't know, then yeah, that music is pretty foreboding. Are we gonna see the words on the signs, or will they be like lines? You'll actually see the words. For anyone who wants to see a preview of that, if you go to the Undernet Hub and then go down to the Immersiontale bit, if you scroll up a little bit, I did give a preview above the 3D fight UI, which is, it's not far back. Like if you go down to the bottom, Sammy's post is the last one. You go up, there's like one purple texture, then there's another big one that I tried to generate using AI, then there's another one that's further up that's like a standard brick texture, and then above that, just a little bit, where Raiden and Revenge have posted. Above that is my 3D menu, and then above that is the preview of what we will originally see, which again, like I said before, it's ancient Hylian text from Zelda. But I sculpted the actual sign itself in 3D and then just baked it so it's all detailed and everything and looks really nice. But yeah, give you an idea, because the words will be translated eventually. They won't be translated straight away, but for those who know the story, you should get an idea of why they get translated later on. It's gonna roughly be around here where we start actually seeing that translation happen anyway, so it's gonna be cool to kind of switch the textures out between each other and have one being English and one being monster. So we got some more mushrooms in the corner over there. I'm literally trying to place these exactly like I placed them originally. Let's go over here. The moss on the side looks awesome. Thank you very much. I tried making it look pretty awesome as much as I can, so... Some of these mushrooms I'm gonna cheat with here. Leaves, I mean it's got moss on it as well, but it's also got the leaves hanging off, which I want to do on some of the other signs. Okay, so rotate these here, and these can be in this other corner. Oh crap. Just make sure that's in the right place. And then I need to put moss over there as well. Oh, I just realized there's a big moss thing there, so that's, well, vines, but it's whatever, I can put moss there. So this is going to be really cool to actually do all of this, but I need to do the water better in here as well. So it's going to be neat to get around to doing that, which I think I'll do now. Oh, crap. I've got to essentially take this bit and just... Oh, I just realized I can do the bridges better as well in here, the small... wooden bridges. The spikes must look scary. I'm literally just using the Sonic spike traps. If you've seen like the 3D Sonic games, I'm literally just using those because I used those originally in the earlier version. Where are they? I want chocolate now, says John. There's nothing stopping you going getting chocolate, John. I'm just trying to find the spike trap room here. I need to redo it, so... Oh. Find the old version here. Okay. I want your... That sounds interesting, John. By the way, I missed out on what you said before about Bone Labs. You should have her... I have Hershey's Kisses if you want to. It's just Sammy. So what I'll do is I'll switch over now. Hopefully I won't spoil anything here. Oh. It's sauce. Yeah. There we go. So that's what the old version of the spike trap room looked like. I'm going to make it look a lot better. It's going to be lit up a little bit better. The architecture is going to look a little bit more detailed. Overall, I love the changes that I'm doing to all of this because it will look a heck of a lot better. What I'm also thinking of doing is potentially letting more light into the room by having another hole in the roof. I'm not so sure. It's either that or I just put like larger mushrooms in here. You know, because it's all good. But yeah, it's that idea of, like I was saying before, trying to get areas to look sort of how you would expect the underground to look. It's obviously not going to be super bright everywhere like the game. But at the same time, not looking really moody, you know. Let's see, it's that one. Oh, I'm like taking a deep breath though while I'm trying to make sure I get the right file here to open rather than the wrong one, and then be like, oh no, when I've opened the wrong one and shown off a bunch of stuff that I don't want to show off. Do 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 do. Oh. Okay. Cool effect, it has a Halloween look, so it's classic. So what I normally do is for this, because people have been saying like, dude, why does it look so moody? No. What I do for all of my scenes is I light them up using true darkness. So like for instance here where it says color, I will, like by default on Blender, that's gray. And gray gives you kind of like this light sort of look to everything, but the shadows are very tame. And hey, Moody's Sammy. Yeah, but yeah, when you don't use like true black there, what ends up happening is none of the shadows stick out or look very good. So what I do is I make sure the background is as dark as possible, and then I light everything up. So it eventually I use a few lights in each scene to try and get it looking the best it can. But the idea is that with the background being completely black, we end up with this kind of like really intense sort of shadow thing where you can get lights looking really cool. Back to Bone Labs, I can afford it next week, says John. Oh, nice. That'd be cool then. Dude, playing Bone Lab on multiplayer with you is going to be so funny. As long as the first thing you do is not like slap the living daylights out of me in VR. I'll pull a Glock on you if you do that. So I figured these waterways are not too low down, but they're low enough. No, where they've got the bridge going over them, so. So about here. And we'll do 0.6 or 0.7. Let's try 0.7. 0.7's all right there. Maybe I will. No! 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 0.7 there for those waterways. Run, Dave, run! I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, John, have you had any other VR games, or is it just VR chat that you've got at the moment? Because if that's the case, then doing the slow introduction to things via Bone Lab might be pretty good. I actually need to figure out how the multiplayer works on it as well. I got Blade and Sorcery because it was cheap. I guess you've been trying that out then and familiarized yourself a little bit more with VR. Oh, haven't played it yet. Okay, okay. So you're still on the sort of like beginner area of VR, which is not too bad. As long as you're not like rushing head first into things, then you're all good and you will not end up with any adverse side effects. It's Chocolate with wrappers and something. I don't think that's healthy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to extend these waterways off as far as they'll go, or at least pretty far. The idea being that you shouldn't be able to see the ends of them. So when we look at this now, you can see the underground bit there. And then the idea is we'll then come in and do this little detail over here. That'll be really sweet. I think I can do that with one of the other textures that I've got at the moment, and then just like hue it blue or something. Not blue, purple. What I do need in here is vines, and I also need the switches. Now the switches are a scenery piece that I know I can get from one of my other references. Hang on, where is it? Switch. Bits of scenery I'm going to need in here. Switches, spikes, wooden sign, dummy. Oh crap. Why did I just... Dummy. And then it's stone sign as well. Stone sign. And what else we got? Nothing at the moment, because the idea is these rooms, because they're going to be a little bit more detailed and everything, I'm only doing them a little bit at a time so we can just see like each room. The thing is, like with this shot here, we see this bit, and then for the beginning shot of the ruins, it's going to be set at this sort of angle. I've done it in the other window. Where is it? If I open the other window here for a moment. We go to this one. Okay, so this one, I think if it has all the animation on it. Yeah. Okay, so this is how the ruins are going to start. So we don't actually see that door there. We see Toriel come out. Oh, crap. Let's play this. So we see Toriel come out. This is old stuff now, so it's going to be redone. But yeah, Toriel does the intro to the ruins, and then is like, you're gonna see some really crazy stuff in here. Make sure you follow me, okay? And then we move on, and oh my god, this is playing in slow-mo because of how I did it ages ago. So then it cuts from there, so you never see the back side where the door is there. Oh, because there is no extra bit there, so that's gonna be copying that in terms of shot composition. We should be good there, so let's go back to the other one and hopefully not ruin anything by spoiling the fun. There we go. Hey John, guess what? No world revolving. Yeah, hopefully I will not be copyright struck for this music either. Because that's one thing that I've got really annoyed at recently, is like no matter what, I'll try and enjoy myself and do like some work with the Deltarune or Undertale soundtracks on, and YouTube's just not having any of it. YouTube's just like, yeah, so anyway, we're just gonna copyright claim you again. It's like, oh my god, seriously, stop it. I've lost so much in terms of like what you could potentially get on YouTube recently because of that. You know. Don't do it to him, Dave Sassari. Oh no, I won't do. I won't. I'm more just annoyed at YouTube. Like, I'm trying to enjoy myself, and YouTube's like, so, be a shame if you wanted to enjoy yourself, wouldn't it? And I'm like, oh. Let's... That reminds me, I had a laugh the other day. We were in VR chat, and I think it was one of the people that joined in VR chat, when it was actually in VR, it was for the event. When we're in VR chat, somebody actually had like, it was either a train avatar or something similar to a train, or I got picked up or something. But I remember it just was not nice, because obviously being picked up is going to make you feel like you're sick. And I'm there going, oh god, this is terrible, you know, and then when I got put down, some random person came up to me and was like, dude, stop making weird sounds, and I'm just like, I'm not, you know, it was so funny. I just realized I need to copy the base geometry for the rooms here, because this is going to be crazy. So if I move that about there. That was me, says John. Yeah, so somebody else later on came in after I'd been put down, John, and I was like, oh, I feel sick now. I was like, stop making weird noises. And I'm like, it was so funny. Made it sound as though I was being like totally annoying or whatever. I picked you up and shook you around like a rag doll. I can't remember whether I had... oh no, wait, yeah. I did have my headset on at that point, but I closed my eyes for it, if I remember rightly, until like a little bit later, because I didn't want to have motion sickness from it. Because that's the one thing you never do in VR, is do something to cause somebody to have motion sickness, because it's technically irresponsible. No. And I don't mean that in a bad way, to be like, oh, look at what you did, this is terrible. It's more just the whole thing of it's a cautionary thing. It's like you never interact with anybody in VR when they're inside of VR and you're not. And you definitely don't do anything like that, because you don't know how it will affect the person's health. You know. Just general rule of thumb, really. John, it's fine. You don't need to say sorry. I understand. Besides which, I took precautions against it, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm not, like, telling you off or anything. It's just more of a thing. I'd be like, just err on the edge of caution next time. You know, you gotta think of it's like, if you wouldn't like that happening to you, then, you know, just don't do it to anybody else, primarily because you don't know whether you'll permanently mess them up or will mess them up for a long period. All details. I can fix all these issues that I'm going to have with these details later on. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Nothing really happened. It's not like I had a bad experience. It was all really good. The whole deal was just making sure I had my eyes closed. It's like, I'll close them because I feel like something's going to happen here, and then next minute it's like, oh, yeah, I was right. I'm glad I did this. Saying that, though, I even get sick on, or get partially sick when people are using avatars that are way too fast. Like, somebody will get on and use, like, a train or whatever, and if you sit on the train and the train goes super fast and goes all over the place and you're not effectively in control, then it tends to be that you just feel sick anyway. And I just realized I've already messed this up slightly. Only a little bit. I'll jump back and edit this later on. So the way the ruins is here, that's going to need to be edited. You'd think that'd be the same as this side, but it really isn't, which is kind of weird. But it's whatever, you know. Let's see, it's that one. Okay, so. Go here. I think. We take that. And I edit that to about there, we should be good. Oh, come on now. Trying to do this corner detail and it's a bit annoying. There we go, file, set geometry origin. And then we go down by, I think it was minus that much. Oh, that's way too much. Can we like... Oh, that's not good. I actually don't have the accurate floor level now. That's just grand. Training dummy. Oh, how have you been, Sasami? Yeah, the training dummy is going to be so cute to animate that a little bit again. Okay, so yeah, it is right. So what we do here is make sure that intersects there. Hey, it's the intro for Phantasy Star episode 1 and 2 that we released on the GameCube. Hey, Damon. By the way, for my own community, from my own personal Discord, just be aware that not everybody you see on YouTube is the same age. I say that primarily because I know some people were feeling a little bit out of place at the last event. It's like, just be mindful of potentially who you could be talking to. Skip the song, says John. No! No! Big meanie. Sammy says, yeah, I am small. Also, we didn't talk to anyone at the event. Oh, no, I mean now, John. Because those same people will still be coming in here, so... John says, I felt out of place. Oh, you're all good, John. Like, honestly, was it just overwhelming because of the crowd, or what? I'm super looking forward to the 3rd, because that's when my HG, Gyan, the Cubile, and the Zeong are coming for my birthday, says Damon. Ooh, nice. Damon, I've noticed something. This is just me asking as a general question. I remember you saying, too many people and too loud, says John. Oh, that's totally fine then, man. It's understandable. I might have asked previously, I just thought I'd ask again, because I didn't know whether I had asked or not. Just way more loud than I'm used to. Yeah, it wasn't like everybody was bad. You know, that's the one thing that I like about it, is nobody was like rowdy. Well, I say nobody was rowdy. Nobody was like offensive or anything else like that. It was just a case of everybody just being themselves and being excited. You know, Damon, this is what I was going to ask. You know, when you first joined our community and you turned around and went, yeah, I'm not really big into like collecting and everything because it takes up loads of room and looks a little bit cluttered. What happened, man? I'm not smack talking or anything. It's just a general question because it honestly looks like your collection's just exploded. Let's just put this here. John says, no one was bad. They were just way more comfortable than I was. John, we'll have to go to different places in VR chat again and just get you used to different crowds of people or something. Because I figure it'll be kind of like, you know, kind of like social anxiety in real life. It'll just be a case of slowly working up to it, where you can feel comfortable, you know. Because I know I had that thing of just being like going in the Undernet and be like, okay, what do I do now? You know, kind of thing. But it's all good. It's all good. Then again, I do not have social anxiety, so it might be totally different for me. just being like, oh, it's all good, you'll get over it, you know, and it's totally not. It could be totally different for somebody else. So got that there. There's 2 steps and then the end. Sure thing, dude, says John. Sammy says, you don't want to hear me on VR chat. I'm loud in real life. I talk a lot. I'm loud in real life too. I want to get VR chat to work, but I can't get it to work, says Sammy. Have you got the Steam version? Because that's the one that you can use in desktop mode to access it. Hey, memes! I also have 30 kits in my backlog, says John. I have way more than 30, I think. Didn't we count I had like 70 or something kits in my backlog or something stupid? I think when we were joking about it, saying I was close to Ion in terms of number of things in my backlog. I remember that. I think it was something like 60 odd that are in my my loft at the moment. I need to actually check those out and see if they're still okay because of the heat and everything. Damon says, yeah, when I was younger, because of family problems, never really able to start collecting ever out of anxiety or just embarrassment, but seeing everyone on Discord with the collections and stuff changed things. Made me start collecting, you know, collecting is hard to stop. It's fine, man, as long as you know when to stop and when's comfortable. It's like with me, I've got all the stuff upstairs that I want to build now, but I've definitely stopped on Gunpla. Because I was just like, I can't be doing this all the time. Although saying that, there are a couple, like 1 or 2 here and there where I'm like, do I get it and start again? Just a little bit or what? Like some of the build metaverse stuff looks really nice, and I'm just like, I blame SDs. SDs are just so nice, you know. That. And then we do this. And then I've got to do that detail again there. Okay. Sammy says, no, the website. I guess I have to get Steam then. You don't have to get Steam, but I don't think the website version allows you to do anything on the computer. I think I was just assuming you had to get Steam for it. Collecting what? My brain blanked out. Gundam model kits. I've gone from model kits to mecha figures, says John. Once I learn in 3D, I'm gonna save up and do a 3D printer for my own kits. Oh, nice. I know 3D printers are super expensive. That's the one reason I haven't done anything. Yeah, a lot of my own personal Discord community build Gundam model kits. Like the Japanese robot anime Gundam. And it's all good, you know. Everybody just enjoys making stuff. I know when I want to stop. Honestly, I've always started collecting Gunpla and Transformers, so now I have my own place. It's a little bit easier to do that sort of stuff. It's definitely a lot easier when you have your own place and you're not restricted so much by space, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like with collecting, you want to know when you hit your limit, or just before you're going to hit your limit, because you don't want to do like some collectors, and I don't know whether this is just a personal thing for me, but I feel like a collection should not be literally as much crammed into one space as possible. Some collectors I've seen for like either Transformers or whatever will literally cram Transformers into like every square millimeter, so they have like their entire collection essentially on one shelf or whatever, or like an IKEA bookshelf with like every single shelf jam-packed so you can't move anything in there. Honestly, for display purposes, I think that collections really look better when they're a bit more spread out and there's a lot more room, so it doesn't look as jam-packed. No, because it just looks cluttered. There are some guys I've seen in America that aren't part of the Discord. I think it was Mega 64, Rocco and Garrett from Mega 64. If you're not familiar with them, they're like pretty big collectors. But Rocco and Garrett's collections are pretty nuts. Like Rocco's is extended from his house into his office at work, and his entire house, including the bathroom, has stuff in it, which is nuts. I wouldn't go that crazy. And like Garrett's one, he has like this massive glass case, which is absolutely crammed with stuff. Not saying the collections are bad or anything, and not smack talking them. I love Mega 64, but just everything looks a little bit too cluttered for me. You know, so it's just like, yeah, I'll not do it like that. You know. Hey, Exram. Nice to see you again. The really good ones are nearly 2K, says John. Jeez. They're far more beginner friendly and cheaper. Which is strange given the price. If I had the money, I would make a Sammy avatar. Just see my little baby fish come to life, says Sammy. I just put it wherever in my room, says John. How you doing, Dave? I'm doing all right. I might need to check up on something as well. I just realized. Hang on. I might be needed to run an errand quickly to look after the daughter. I said I was going to do that before, and I've just noticed the time, so BRB. I'm back. We good? Oh, let's see. What the heck has been going on in this chat? What the heck has been going on in this chat while I've been away? Where did I even... Oh, there's my chat. Stopped for me there. Tortillas. I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, I just had to help deal with some stuff, so... Oh, right. Okay, so let's try and match this stuff up now. So we've got... Right. Try and take some of these and put them together. And then we'll even... Oh, hang on. I just realized why that's the way that it is at the moment. We'll take all of this. And we'll duplicate it. I don't think I need the long vines, but I do need these ones for multiple points. Don't worry, Dave. Chat is just nuts about eating sandwich and sandwich ingredients. Oh no. So we got that. We got this giant wall of moss here. I don't know which one to use. That one on this one. I'm gonna need these for the top anyway, so like, if I can get rid of that one, right? And rotate this on 90 for the moment. Cheese is gross to me on its own, says John. Wait, what? Cheese is awesome. Just running into a fridge and eating a half bag of shredded cheese. Oh, I have a joke about, well, not exactly a joke, but a funny story about shredded cheese in a bag. I had never, until like a couple of years ago, never encountered shredded cheese in a bag. And my parents, they live like quite a long way away. And they just turned around to me one day and they were like, so anyway, how you doing? They phoned me up and I'm like, doing okay, what's the big deal? And they're just like, oh, nothing, just checking on you, you know, see how you're okay. And I was like, okay. They're like, so yeah, they started talking like small talk. And it gets the conversation of eating. And they're like, oh, so anyway, we went to visit your uncle today. And yeah, he had like a load of processed cheese. And I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, it's just a load of processed cheese in his fridge. And I'm like, okay, so what's the big deal about it? They're like, oh, it's weird. We'll have to send you an image of it. I'm like, okay, so they sent me an image online. And it's this, like, basically, like, small bag of shredded cheese. Bear in mind, I'd never seen this before. And I was like, dude, that looks like literally the same bag that you'd see, like, drugs in, but just shredded cheese. You know? And they were just like, you what? And I was like, yeah, seriously, it just looks like a drug bag, but full of shredded cheese. You know, and then I started then making this silly analogy where I was like, or this silly comparison where I was like, dude, what's the street value of that cheese? And they were like, what? And I was like, well, it looks like drugs anyway, so I might as well ask, what the heck is the street value of that cheese? You know, like, what's the street value of, say, like, a brick of cocaine or whatever? And your uncle is a cheese smuggler. A baggie of cheese, yeah? So instead, I'm just like, so what's the legal, what's the street value of this bag of cheese? They didn't get it for a while, so I had to explain it, because admittedly, they're getting pretty old now, so it's one of those periods where you have to kind of explain jokes to them. So then every time I would, like, talk to them for, like, a month after this, they would send me, like, pictures and be like, oh look, we got more of this cheese in like bags or whatever, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just like grate or shred your own cheese? And they were like, oh no, it's just, it saves time or whatever. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? So then I started messing around and basically combining the two parts of the conversation together and being like, so anyway, what did you have for food today? And they'd be like, oh, we had like shredded cheese from on like sandwich or whatever. And I'd be like, what? So you had street cheese on your sandwich? And they're like, what's street cheese? And I was like, it's the cheese that's shredded in those little baggy things. You know, it's got an interesting street value, but it's street cheese. And they were like, that's weird, that. And then I just kept saying street cheese for ages to them. And eventually they just sort of went along with it. So now it's referenced as street cheese by my parents. So whenever I talk to them and I'm like, so what do you have on your sandwich? They're like, oh, so we had ham and pepper and some street cheese. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, it is funny to hear that kind of clicked on. I just get back hearing about cheese's memes. Yeah, everybody else started it, and I was like, oh, I got a funny story about that. Let's see what's behind that there. Yes, I can. There we go, that's good. Did they drink milk in bags? Oh god, yeah. I'd heard about that. They don't do that though. Thank God. Thank God, otherwise I think I'd be scarred for life. Like, so anyway, milk in bags, and just like, what? That would be, I might need to place these actually in scene physically, like being able to see what I'm doing rather than hiding it from you guys. So instead, let's see what I can do with the rest of this stuff. Okay, so in the next room, I have a bunch of mushrooms near the door. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, Dave's parents and street cheese, man. Weird. You're really lucky they didn't look it up since cheese is a heroin-based recreational drug. I didn't even know that. I did not even know that. I was just making a joke about it. What the hell, John? Actually, milk in bags is a normal thing where I'm from, says Eggsram. Huh, interesting. Interesting. It's one of those whole things where when you hear it, at first you're just like, what? And then when somebody explains like, oh, it's a difference in culture or something, or it's just how things are, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. This seems a bit weird, you know, when you're not used to it, when you're used to something completely different and then somebody says, so anyway, this is what happens over here or whatever. It's just like, wait, what? You have to do like a double take for a moment. Let's put that there. That needs to be in the corner there, roughly, where the foliage is. And then we'll put another big one over here in the corner. Where's the medium one? There we go. It's a culture shock thing, says Sammy. It's a Sheffield thing, Dave, says John. Oh, fair enough. Have you ever heard have you ever had a turkey wrap? No. Don't think I have. You have to stab at the milk bag with a straw like a Capri Sun. This is X-Ram. That is incredibly unique. Like, that's not even me being nasty there or anything. It's just that is a unique way of drinking milk. No. Like over here when I was a kid, You drink milk out of a carton with a straw, but not a bag. This is what I find interesting about talking to everybody online, is it's always interesting finding out what the differences are between different cultures and stuff, or where you live, and genuinely, you know, what the difference is. It's really fun to kind of hear and be like, huh, and then compare and be like, interesting. Okay, so that's enough mushrooms near the door there. Now need, I don't know whether there'll be any there because of, I might need to get creative with my foliage over there. Sammy says it's a tortilla wrapped in turkey ham with mayo, sometimes tomatoes or lettuce. Interesting. I heard that Canadians use milk bags as well, says Extra. Somebody go in the Discord and ping Ion and be like, so anyway, Ion, where's your milk bag? Yeah. I bet you'd be like, wait, what? You'd just like bringing up no context or anything. Just like, hey, Ion. Oh. You'd be like, what the hell? Also, if somebody does do that with Ion, I will take the blame, you know. Gotta take responsibility for that, so by all means, if you want to turn around and be like, Dave's just asking, what's with the milk bags? You know, just see what he says. He'd probably be like, what? John says, oh no, Damon says, never enough shrooms also, I've heard. Sorry, that's too spicy. No, it isn't. It isn't. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. It's fine. Here's where I go into Discord now and actually see Ion just like, what? Like, admittedly, I've not talked to anybody or done any, like, proper, like, content outside of this stuff for ages. I'm gonna need to actually focus on some of that again and just be like, look, so anyway, normal content. Because if I don't, then I have a feeling I'm going to alienate a large portion of my audience. Oh, 2 groups of mushrooms there, okay. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong room. 2 and then a small, okay. Trying to match these up with like previous stuff that I've done is interesting, to say the least. It becomes a dairy reviewer, says Exam. I know a guy that literally tried to do like food reviews and everything, and he got it completely wrong. It was so funny, but it was so bad at the same time. Oh, it was the funniest thing ever. Like, one example. For the people that live in here in the UK, you'll know this. But, there's a medication over here that you can get in packets that normally helps with, like, colds. It's like sachets and stuff. It's a powder. And, essentially what you do is you mix it with water, and it's supposed to make a anti-cold or sickness medicine. And the idea is you drink it and it's just slowly supposed to release some of the, because it gets mixed with a little bit of painkillers as well. The idea is that you're supposed to have this and it'll cure what ailments you have. And it tells you on the packet how you make it and, you know, how much to put in or whatever, or what were to actually, like what cup it recommends to put it in to, you know, get the best out of it. All the ways to use it are on the back, essentially. And this guy, he doesn't read it, and he puts it in this massive cup. And he fills it up with water, drinks it. And this is for a genuine review, right? I think it's on YouTube somewhere, can't remember. Like, he fills this cup up all the way to the top full of this medicine that's supposed to be pretty strong. But of course, he's diluted the living hell out of it because he's not paid attention. And then he just goes, Takes one sip and goes, this doesn't taste of anything. It's like, because you made it wrong. So funny. The funny part about it is, it's the most simple thing that you can make in the UK to deal with like colds and flus and stuff. It's like, how the heck can somebody get that wrong? You know, so funny. Damon says, I've just noticed I wasn't subscribed. That's interesting. It's like YouTube doing that weird thing where it unsubscribes people. I hope it's not. I hope I've not got to that level of notoriety by literally just creating content. You know. Let's do that there. I need to move these slightly out of the way. Is the equivalent of somebody eating raw ramen, says Xram. Yeah, basically. We have that here sometimes in America, I think, or at least something similar, says Sammy. It's easier to make than a cup of these, says Darren. Yeah, it's literally just open the sachet, pour the powder into a cup, pour water into it, normally boiling water, stir, and then drink. You know, there's no, like, how do you get that wrong? Dave's been shadow banned, says Damon. I hope not. I've literally done nothing, you know, wrong. It's like in terms of YouTube, they all have it's those weird rules that they keep changing over and over and over again, where they're like, we'll make a set of rules, and then they just keep moving the goalpost, you know, or essentially, like for anyone who doesn't know that phrase, it's a phrase used for when somebody wants to alter the conditions of something either ending or reaching the end of something. So like, say for instance, the end result of the rules or the goal for the rules is that everybody follows them, you know, and essentially by everybody following the rules, nothing should go wrong, you know, and then when they move the goalposts, it's like when they required you to get so many subscribers, I think it was, to allow you to monetize your channel, I think it was 1,000, and then they moved that up, if I remember rightly, so you now have to get like 2,000 subs or whatever to have your channel monetized. It's incredibly weird. But it's YouTube, man. They move the goal posts, or the goal just in general, all the time anyway. It's rough. Fan 2000 says, I finally made it back. Hello. Coffee is yucky, says John. I'm good. I'm just doing a tiny stream here and trying not to spoil anything. I'm wondering whether I can place this stuff without showing what's in the scene, because I've managed to do it so far. I can't, because it requires visuals on how long everything is. It's awkward. So that's all set up roughly. Oh, no, I need to import stuff. Let's just make sure this is all detailed, right? So we've got the corner details. Got the rooms. That's wall details too. I like making sure that all of this is labeled properly, so at least then we know what's what. John says, I can't be a real Brit. I don't like tea, coffee, beer, or cigarettes. Oh. Right, let's, or cold hobnobs is Damon. That reminds me, I might actually go and get the cold hobnobs. I think we talked about this before, about the, on stream, about the difference between biscuits and cookies in America versus Britain. It's still a funny one that people genuinely do like a double take on and go, wait a minute, what? Oh. Oh, no, it's wrong one. There we go. Now I've got my switch or lever, whatever you want to call it. Let's try lever. Delete that and then go liver. That moment where you're consistently not trying to spoil everything, but it's getting really hard with how everything is and having to position everything in 3D space. What's the difference in Britain, says Sammy? Okay, so the whole idea with biscuits between America and England is interesting. An American will know a biscuit as generally like it's like almost a savory item of sorts. You know, you always hear like biscuits and gravy or whatever, right? I'm just checking that that's a stereotype, by the way, the biscuits and gravy thing. It's just the easiest way to understand at the moment, or reference. Trying to get this looking right in the hand here. So biscuit is a savory piece of bread, says F2000 or Fan2000. Yeah. You ever get scolded for eating everything on your plate and being grateful because the kids from Africa could have had your food? Yes, Exram, we had that tale over here. But yeah, the biscuit in America is referenced as a savory piece of bread, or a bread-like substance that you normally have like biscuits and gravy or biscuits and chicken, whatever. In the UK, the biscuit is the equivalent of something very similar called a scone, or a scone, depending on where you want to come from. And the scone, essentially, is something that you have served as a dessert over here. You normally have it with whipped cream and jelly or jam. And it's the same consistency and same kind of overall look as a biscuit, but you have it as a dessert with a drink, normally some tea. So yeah, if you look up a scone or a scone, S-C-O-N-E-S, online, you'll see exactly what they are on Google. They're essentially just a biscuit. So yeah, for all the Americans that are like, wait a minute, what? It's like, yeah, that's British. Yeah, it's more of a like dessert pastry thing over here, which is interesting, you know, to note. It's the same with like, if you want to know what an actual biscuit is in the UK, like what the name is associated with, we don't call it, we don't call biscuits, sorry, because I'm getting confused between scones and biscuits now from America. To continue the conversation, because a biscuit from America is a scone over here, a biscuit in the UK is essentially what anyone would call a cookie or something that's like a cookie. It's an edible sort of sweet product that's crunchy, is the same kind of consistency as a cookie, but might not have like chocolate chips in or whatever. Americans seem to, at least by my understanding, I could be wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. Americans seem to call all that kind of thing cookies, whereas over here, to a British person, that's a biscuit. And then cookies are their own separate subgenre of biscuit, which are generally American-style cookies, the chocolate chip ones. You know, it's crazy. Apart from Jaffa cakes, yeah. Jaffa cakes are a totally separate thing, which are basically like small cakes full of jelly, as Americans call it, or jam over here. Jelly is something totally different over here as well. Jelly is what we call Jell-O. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. Culture shock for any Americans that don't already know this. We talk about this stuff a lot on previous streams. My head hurts, says Fan2000. Most sweet things are either cookies or a muffin, says Sammy. Yeah, when we have biscuits over here, like I'm on about Hobnobs recently. Hobnobs are a brand of biscuit over here that are essentially just a very, very big, like, oaty cookie. It's a cookie made out of, like, oats. And then on the underside of it, you can have, like, chocolate laid on the underside of it. But yeah, genuinely, it tends to be one of the more, I'd say, filling and also pretty strong biscuits, because over here we have pretty flimsy biscuits as well, where you dunk them in a cup of tea and they'll just fall apart. And then nobody likes fishing the bits of the biscuit out of the bottom of the cup of tea. Oh, sorry, memes. Sorry. I'll stop. I'll stop. That was totally not my intention. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, let's see. Duplicate collection. Wait a minute, why is it not? Oh, it's not duplicating the entire thing. Lever. And then we gotta do levers. What the heck, John? Quick question, what should I get for breakfast? Cereal, if you've got any? Or toast? Classic says, USA changes so many things with words on TV, so I can get lost most times. Normally, I either have toast or cereal. Oh yeah, like John said, pancakes. Pancakes would be good. It'd be pretty filling as well. Duplicate collection. Let's leave her over here. Same with the next one. Got to duplicate that. 3. Toast. I usually have that. Bacon, if you like bacon. Oh, waffles are good, yeah. Eggs wrap. Oh, you don't got bacon. Find something that's incredibly filling, memes, and have that, if you can. I think I'll run to the corner store and get some cereal. Yeah, that's good, that's good. That moment where I'm trying to do as much as possible here while also not showing the level yet, because I want it to be a massive surprise. Let's try and get dummy in here. Let's do append, blender files, dummy. Hey, no, there's mad dummy, there's a training dummy. Collection. Now the question is, if I take training dummy here, oh god. That moment where the training dummy is massive. Hey, they have the right shaders and everything, I think. Let's just double check. Yeah, Principal BSDF. Question is, which bits of which? Why is that metallic? Oh, I see. Hang on. Stand? Or dummy stand. Dummy stand. Good luck on progress, Moody. Thank you very much, memes. Thank you for dropping by the way. Oh no, it's a Titan, says Sammy. That one, I think, is going to be for eyes. Roughness is 0. I imagine one of these is for head, one of these is for body. Let's get the hex values and we'll just see. Yep, there we go. So apparently that's for the head. That moment where everything's in Japanese because you get it from like MMD or DeviantArt or somewhere and it's still not translated from MMD. So then you've got to go ahead and start tweaking things and everything gets crazy. And I just realized I could probably put a realistic texture on that, but it depends. Like I could try and put like a cotton texture on it, but it might look terrible. So it's like, I'll just keep it as it is. That one is body then. Was Memes the cute little avatar at the event? Memes was, I think, one of the tiny avatars, but also dressed up as, I think, Frisk. Pancakes are better than waffles, changed my mind. Belgian waffles. just coming in here with the Belgian waffles. Like, Belgian waffles, can't beat them. Then again, I used to have them a lot at work. When I went to work ages ago, they used to have vending machines that would sell Belgian waffles. And I used to get them all the time. And then they actually started, like, serving waffles in the cafeteria. And then it became a whole thing of, I think it's like Waffle Wednesday we had or something. And I kind of was guilty of taking everybody and kidnapping them before they'd even started work and encouraging them to form a big line so they could all buy waffles. I'm definitely not the bringer of chaos, you know. And by that I mean I'm totally not a massive distraction to everyone else around me. Those are huge, right? The Belgian waffles. Belgian waffles are absolutely massive and really thick. Have you heard of Waffle House? Yes, I have. That was one hell of a good mind job there, this Damon. Seriously, right? The funny part was, I kept getting waffles for like the, I think, when they introduced them into work, I remember, I first started getting them and everyone was like, dude, where are you getting waffles from? I'm like, they're just serving them in the cafeteria. Nobody like batted an eye or anything. And then when I started introducing them to more people that I'd hang out with at work in the morning, slowly everyone started cottoning on and being like, wait a minute, they're actually serving waffles? And it's just like, yeah, they've been there this entire time. Do you not know? I'd be coming back to my desk with like this waffle. Normally covered in like chocolate or whatever, and it was so funny because there was one point where I was like, they serve them every Wednesday, you know, guys, you do know that, right? And they're like, seriously, you just go in, order them or whatever. So I explained what was going on, and no joke, I think I cleared out about half the office just turning around to everybody and being like, just go get some waffles while they're still good, you know, because they're nice and fresh, and there's a queue later on in the morning. If you get in just now, it'll be a pretty small queue, you know. Instead, like half the office is all queuing up, and then everyone's like, dude, why are we doing no work? And I'm like, it's okay, it's totally not my fault. Totally not my fault. I do not have this power over people. What music is playing? This is from Fancy Star again. So Dave likes a massive and thick note into the X-Ram. Getting steam as we speak, says Sammy. Oh, nice. Damon. British pancakes with lemon juice and sugar. Can't beat this, John. Yes, British pancakes with lemon and sugar are pretty nice. X-Ram, have you seen Jen's models? Says Johnny, like him thick. Oh god, that's gonna be funny having to explain that to people eventually. Like, so Dave, we've watched your earlier streams and stuff. What is this about Jen's model? It's like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. It's all good. If you're unfamiliar, it's fine. It was a collaborative effort, I swear. Okay, there we go. The room is a little bit bigger, I've just noticed there, because like if we go into this view for a moment, the room looks bigger, but we're good. Hopefully my computer can handle all of it with all the artwork I have saved to Sammy. Steam's not the problem mainly, it's just VR chat, because VR chat can be a little bit crazy sometimes. So that's not too bad there. John, don't worry about it, says Damon. Jim will get you back, says Classic. No, we're all good, Classic. It was a collaborative effort between me and Jen. Damon. Oh my god. That sounded so wrong. You can read that in two different ways. One way is the innocent way, the other way is like, hey Dave, so You having fun there in a kind of insinuating manner. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm crying in the corner. It needs my address. For Steam? Steam shouldn't need your address. John. Let's see. I need the wooden sign and the stone sign and the spikes. I need to find out where the spikes are. Let's see. Spikes. To sign up. I love the way I was trying to spell spikes then for the search result, and I put spokes. I was busy reading chat at the same time. Let's see. Steam sign up. Create your account. Let's see. Billing, payment. It's just for billing. I think it's literally just because it says here subscriber agreement. It's literally just for billing, payment, and subscriptions and stuff. It's not anything super dodgy. I don't think that's a requirement, Damon, buying something $2 or up before you can play multiplayer on Steam. But yeah, in terms of why it needs your email address and address, it's because it sends bills to your email address, and they don't use your normal home address, but it's one of those things where if they ever need to bill you any other way, like if they can't contact you via your email address, they may send you mail through your normal post box. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I'm good here for the moment. I'm just going to try and potentially distract here for a moment. I need to figure out how to get all this. Damn that sneeze. Yeah, that's my shotgun sneeze again. I put my home address, but it didn't work, so Sammy. Are you in the right region? Sorry about these sneezes, by the way. The microphone is so close. I just realized I'm gonna have to stop anyway. Sean, that'd be totally weird if you did that. I know you've mentioned that before, but that would totally be weird if you did that. For multiple different reasons. Yeah, I think we should calm down about Jen's model and stuff, specifically because of the demographic and age range in here. Oh god. Right, I just need the spikes in here now. Let's do append. Oh. Me on the way to look up like 8 tutorials on VR chat. This is Fan 2000. VR chat's pretty simple to get into as long as you have access to Steam. Hang on. Without Steam. I'm just trying to check and see if you can use it without. VR chat doesn't require Steam to work. Let's have a look. Oh no, somebody turned around and said you can download it via Steam and then just launch the exe directly. It doesn't need to connect to Steam, but it's just an easy way of launching it. Because you can get it off the Oculus as well on the actual headset because it's on there. Imagine seeing thick methods on. Oh god. Is anyone on VR chat in this stream? This is Fancy1000. I am. There are quite a few people in here on it. Let's try and position this set of spikes. Just realised these spike traps are going to be absolutely massive here. How big are they if I double up here? It's going to have to be kind of like that. I'm trying not to show off the textures or style or anything just to make sure I don't give this away. Remove the reference heart for a moment. Thick Metadon is just a giant metal wall. Demon says, I'm not using a headset, I'm on desktop. Thanks to Dave for introducing me. The funny thing is, I did not know that you were going to get so addicted. I was just like, you know what? It'd be pretty cool just to... I've opened Pandora's box. Sorry, Dave, says John. God damn it, John. It's, the whole thing of, like, I didn't expect Damon to be so addicted to VR chat. I was like, okay, I'll get people in, and what'll happen is, you know, we can introduce new people to VR chat and the whole concept of going interacting in these cool environments and stuff, and just exploring around and having like a good laugh, and then obviously sitting in on the event, see what they think about the actual event with a load of people in there. And then next minute it's like opening Pandora's box. It's just like, oh, and now we can't go back. And I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way. All the user-created stuff is awesome. Yeah, the thing is, it's what I like about it is you've like, if you have the VR headset as well, obviously it's a lot more accessible. You can really get lost in just exploring all the user-created content. But even without the headset, you can still enjoy just looking around at different worlds in 3D. And I've had people before come in and ask me like, dude, why do you do these streams? You know, like, because I occasionally do streams where I look around different worlds. Like, I've wanted to do that for a while now, is go back and do another one of those, looking at different worlds for like Final Fantasy and things. Because of the new Final Fantasy update that's been announced, or rather the release date of the newest one, which I still need to pre-order for Gen. And even in desktop, it's still really fun just to explore and talk to people, because you can still do that via keyboard and mouse, or via gamepad. If you've got like an Xbox pad, you can put that in. But it's just fun to do that, you know? And people are there like, dude, what's so fun about it? It's like, well, until you've actually done it and experienced it, and messed around with your avatar and gone into like these different worlds and seen people and chatted to them and experienced them, you cannot properly understand what VR chat is like, you know? You gotta really sort of try it to get a good, clear understanding of what it is that makes it unique. Because all the user-created content is free, and it only gets better when you put the headset on, primarily because there's so much more accessibility that you have at your fingertips then. Like, for instance, you can go in and just play entire games that have been recreated in, like, VR chat. Like, for instance, there's one that I can play that I played at the Undertale event that you saw if you watched the last update, which was essentially like a battle royale, but with Tron-style discs. And that one's pretty cool. I need to actually play more of that to get used to it. But it's stuff like that where you can have entire free games just in VR chat, and it's just nuts to experience, you know, especially considering it is all free user-generated content. Classic says, I gotta head out. Keep it awesome. Thank you very much, Classic. Hope to see you some other time. According to my friends, VR chat has some very weird first impressions. It depends. You can't post links in here. YouTube auto censors them. Yeah, depending on what your first sort of interaction is in VR chat, you can have some really weird impressions of it. It's why I deliberately normally take all the people that I know to a private server that's normally the Undernet, like an Undernet private server, because then at least people get a somewhat normal style interaction out of it, you know, rather than going into a random server and then seeing people like essentially just swearing their heads off and acting like mad. And then on the odd occasion, you'll get people just really weird, you know. It depends on the community. It depends who's in the server. Like, for instance, I can have some really interesting and weird conversations with people on the Undernet. And there was one, I went into a public server, and no joke, there was a guy just sat down on his own, and everybody was surrounding him a little bit in Lotus's Cafe, which is pretty much near the spawn to the Undernet hub. It's a popular place where everybody likes to go and talk. Grab a cup of coffee and a spider donut or something. And this guy is sat there on his own, and I'm thinking, why is everybody kind of keeping the distance from him, but they're surrounding him and they're listening to him talk, and they're actually talking to him a little bit, and I'm like, what the hell? And he's dropping the most, what is basically like flat earth conspiracy theory cultist level stuff ever, and then also occasionally being racist and stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, 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 it's like the most weirdest thing ever. It doesn't happen normally. It's a really rare interaction, but this guy is like dropping the weirdest conversation ever in the server, and it was just like, what is going on right now, you know? And I'm sat there talking to everybody going, is this a bit? Is this a bit? Is this a joke? And everyone's like, don't think it's a joke, you know? It was weird. It was really weird, you know? Hey Z, nice to see you. What does my guy have on his mind? This is fun. I can't obviously say all of it, but it was like the most weird cultish stuff you could ever imagine. Hang on. There we go. I'm just starting the stuff up again. It's one of those things where you don't like hearing that kind of stuff. Like, every time I'm in the Undernet and I hear stuff like that, I immediately just go to the mods and report it. Because it's like, seriously? What the hell, you know? And normally if it's a public server, there can't be much done apart from everybody kicking that person out. But normally if it's like a group server, you can collectively just kick them out or ban them and they won't come back. But yeah, it's like, I'm not going to repeat any of what he was saying, but if you've been around the internet for long enough, or at least are familiar with certain places on the internet that spout some really crazy stuff, whether it be, you know, like anything racist or political or homophobic or whatever, he was saying all of that like in one conversation, and it's just like, dude, no, get out the server, press to kick. Why is nobody else kicking this guy? What the heck? You know? It's like, dude. Like, my man's been tripping balls here? Seriously? Get him out the server? Let's see. Spikes. Bet. I hate people like that. This is fan 2000. I don't like coming in contact with people like that because not only do I not like them, it makes the entire server uncomfortable. Like, There was somebody else that was literally running around one other time about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, or maybe a month ago, when I was getting ready for the update, doing similar stuff where I came into the server and it was pretty populated, and it was a public one. I'm sat there on the Undernet, and then there's just a guy running around asking people about the gender, and then whenever they responded to him, he's like, oh no, that's wrong. And I'm like, wait, what? And then he started being racist. And I'm immediately like, whoa, because that moment where you can hear everybody talking beforehand, and then he starts saying this kind of stuff, and the moment he does, everybody just shuts up, and it's almost like you can hear a pin drop, you know? It's like you're having a conversation, and all of a sudden you just hear, and this is me dropping my inhaler for effect. It's like you can just hear somebody go, you know, it's that silent. I'm just like, oh no! So immediately contacted the mods and was just like, dude, this guy, man, he's being disgusting in server, he needs to go. Oh. It was all kinds of messed up. David says, I don't need it. I need it. How are you doing anyway, Z? I think homophobic or political online, I leave immediately. Is there a age requirement for the server? No, there isn't. Anybody can join the Undernet hub, which sometimes makes it open to, I think you would say maybe trolling or something, but it's like, I don't like it when people are like that, you know? I feel like people know how to act online and behave, but some other people just like bending the rules just for the sake of it to see what will happen, or just ignoring them flat out just to see if they can get away with it. And it's just like, no, the rules are there to protect everybody. Stop being nasty and follow them, you know? Thing is, I think that kind of thing breaks the terms of service of VR chat anyway, so... Hope this stuff doesn't happen that often. I've only encountered 2 instances like that, like I was mentioning, so it's not too bad. I almost failed that I'm not a robot test, says Fan2000. Are you a robot? I'm not exactly sure. Just let me check. Spike trap. I gotta pull these textures from this thing so I can apply them here. Yeah, you'd think, and this is just a general rule of thumb, or just something that you'd think everybody would understand. It's that general rule of treat people how you want to be treated and be nice to people, you know? So, how hard is it to do that? You know, it's like, it almost, for some people, it feels like you're asking too much, you know, because they just clearly don't want to abide by the rules. Fan2000 starts sweating. I don't think I'm a robot. What do you mean? I'm not quite sure what you're on about. I need to beep. I'm sorry, I just need to connect to the internet. Just give me a moment. There we go, spike trap there, and then spike metal here. That should be fine there. Totally not showing off any of this. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting tagged in a bunch of stuff here right now. Oh my god, so much Fate stuff on the Discord. The day I'm a robot is the day that Dave's a small shorter boy. Oh, dude, don't even begin with that because of YouTube. $50,000 says, oh, yes. Change the voice mod for a moment. Where is it? Which one's gonna work for that? Maybe magic chords. Hang on. Because we've got the announcer voice instead, or the narrator.
Hello there. A long time ago, a British man tried to make Undertale into a movie. Will he manage it? Only time will tell.
Yeah, I've got voice mod on, so it changes. It changes. I might actually use that for the narration. Then we got... Who was that? That was me. That was literally me, but with a voice mod on. And then we've got... I wonder whether magic chords works. Tell me whether this sounds robotic or not. Oh, yes. That might work. It might not. I don't know whether it will. It may just vocode everything. Because I can mess around with the sound of it. It's Nightcore Dave. Hang on, how does that actually sound? Hello? Oh, I get it. It vocoded it slightly. A robot has been behind Immersiontale this entire time. Soundwave, is that you? What about this one?
Hello? Oh. Sounds like a very echoey old echo.
But yeah, we can mess around with that if we want. Java Doodles, is that you? Just do the entire stream and the narrator voice. If you lower the voice a little bit, how do you change your sense on VR chat? Wait, what? Oh, you mean screen? My screen is flying. Wait, what? Oh, I'm not quite sure, Fan 2000. You mean your menu, or my mouse is flying? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Please don't. Oh, sensitivity. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I sneezed into the mic again. It's in the menu. If you press like escape or whatever, I think you can change the mouse sensitivity down. You have to go into the options though. I'll just do the narrator for the entire rest of the stream for a laugh.
Hello there. Trying to do the most recent update without showing off anything or spoiling anything. Will it work, or will I mess up? Only time will tell.
What's the craziest voice you have? I don't know, we can... Oh god, there's some here that I've not even tried out. There's one literally that just says banana... Like in order, it says banana, belcher, fart show. Okay, Morgan Freeman. I like the Morgan Freeman voice. No Morgan Freeman. Part of me wants to mess around and see what fart show apparently sounds like. Banana. Okay, let's try this.
Hello? Oh. Wait, what? That's weird. Let's try Belcher.
Hello? Oh. Okay. So what it does is that other one was literally adding random belches into the speech when I was talking. It can just add random effects like that in. No chipmunk. I love the way John's like, dude, femboy Dave. It's the gamer girl voice. No, some of them are pitched up, some of them aren't. Like, for instance, we can actually... There's one for a literal Karen. If you want me to try that. There's one in a cave. There's a baby voice. There's the magic chords one. Let's try the fart one for a laugh. What? I don't even... That one was just weird. I'm gonna have to do like an individual stream. Oh, apparently there's Obama as well. Oh, we can get a trailer guy one. Oh my god. I want to hear the Karen one. I'm gonna fave the trailer guy one because I might want to use that for future trailers. Let's try the Karen one, right?
Hello. Oh my lord. Hello there. I'm Karen. I'm 60.
That was weird. Really weird. No, it doesn't, John. That's just mean. That's mean. Sounds like Portal. What's the trailer guy? Let's...
Hello. Oh, interesting. What?
That moment where everything sounded really, like really, oh, for a moment. Let's just stop messing with that for the time being. I didn't know your voice was so soothing, says Fan2000. No joke, I'll probably be messing around for the trailers and stuff for Immersiontale and using that in future. I don't want to show off any more of this because of the way that it is. Right, I shall stop playing around. I'll go do the rest of this now and get it all done. You'll get all the chicks with that one. God damn it, David, you're killing me. So what we'll do is gingerbread. Oh no. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. And yeah, it's been fun talking to you guys. I'll finish off this room and get it all textured and looking nice. And then at some point during the next update, you'll be able to see that. Until then, thank you very much. I've had a good laugh with everyone. And again, thank you very much for all the support. See you on the next one. Bye!